Welcome, Central. This is Go Central, a positive take on the things going on at Central, the greatest place to live, work, and raise a family in the entire planet. Tonight, Gordy and I are going to be talking with Sarah Couvillon of Java Mama and Jessica Barraza of Caliente. And at some point, Gordy's going to have to go be a dad and bail out and go to a teacher conference.
Actually, my wife is picking up I'm here for the full hour, so I'm excited. My wife's going to do the track conference.
And Kristen Perrin will be joining us shortly. She's doing mom and coach things, and she'll be joining us in just a little while. So I am Dave Furneaux, and this is Gordy Rush. And we do have, like I said, Sarah Couvillon from Java Mama, Jessica Barraza from Caliente. Ladies, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So we're going to throw out a couple of questions of the day. We do have an audience. Sometimes it's been 2, 5, 15, 20, 25. So hopefully as the show moves forward, we'll get more of a live audience. But just a couple of questions that we're going to repeat a couple of times during the broadcast. What are your favorite dishes at Caliente and Java Mama? So if you're on the stream and want to chat, let us know what your favorite dishes are, and I'll try to pick them up off the chat and talk about it. And what type of restaurant not already in Central would you like to see? I know, for instance, we've had a barbecue places here from time to time. Don't have one right now. Not trying to invent competition for you ladies, but variety is nice.
There's room for everyone.
So I guess let's just start with asking you guys, what are your favorite dishes at Caliente and Java Mama?
So at Java Mama, my favorite would have to be probably the sunrise egg croissant. It's a dish we created in Hope's kitchen, my sister, and it's this toasted croissant, scrambled eggs, bacon, this pepper jelly dressing, and it's just totally wonderful. But I'm absolutely a fan of the fajitas at Caliente. My daughter and I have gone since she was little bitty, so.
Well, thank you. That sounds delicious, what you described. Definitely want to try that. I guess my favorite dish at Caliente would have to be the pollo caliente. It's a grilled chicken breast with onions and mushrooms and melted cheese on top with the white rice and the grilled veggies. And then if I'm looking for something a little more authentic, then I would go with like the street tacos with steak, and they have the corn tortilla, which is more, used in Mexico than the flour tortilla, and onions and cilantro on top. Not your typical Tex-Mex lettuce and cheese. So,
how about you, Gordy?
Well, I haven't eaten at Java Mama, but my wife has been multiple times. I've been there once. I'm not a big coffee drinker, but that's me, right?
I wasn't a big coffee until
I'm going to eat. So, Sarah, I'm a healthy breakfast eater. So think about this. I need your 3 healthiest options because I'm kind of boring, but I'm an egg white. And I eat.
We actually have these little egg white bites. It's
yeah.
And spinach and bell peppers and a blend of cheeses, and every event we have in Central Square, we bring them out to like sample with people, and they love them. So that's a good option for you.
All right, I'm coming tomorrow because I've got leak test duty. I have to drop my child off at whatever it is, 6:50 at Central Middle. So so I will double back tomorrow.
Yes, please do.
Try that.
What time do y'all open in the mornings?
We're open. The drive-thru opens at 6 and the dining room is at 8. So
okay, cool.
Ready for those early birds.
Okay, Caliente. So I love Ricardo, and I'll let that be known here on the Go Central. I think he's fantastic, and Jessica, you'll do a great job. I was a shrimp Diablo guy, and he redid the menu and took it off. I was heartbroken, Dave.
He can still make it for you.
But he did. I can go off the menu. I feel like I've got that sort of pull at Caliente, which is, but I also love the shrimp tacos. My kids absolutely love going to Caliente. And my pain point is the cheese dip. The white cheese dip is really, really good. And I know Jessica, Sarah rather, we just talked about eating well. So That's a Friday night thing, right? The cheese, but love Caliente, and especially everything they did during the COVID. You know, being able, I can't tell you how many times I just sat outside on the sidewalk and just to get out and keep my sanity.
Well, I got to go with the kebabs at Caliente. That's always been my favorite. And I have to confess, I've not eaten at Java Mama. I've got a 93-year-old in our house, so we spent most of the pandemic kind of staying out of the restaurants. But now I have a 9-month-old grandson, my first. So we'll talk a little bit about your whole format there, but you can expect to see us in there shortly.
Yay, that's awesome.
So let's jump into your stories. We just want to hear how you guys got into business, why you got into business, and the restaurant business is a tough thing to do. Why the heck did you do this? And are you having fun?
Jessica, I'll let you go first.
Okay. So, Ricardo, when he came here, the first time he came here, he was actually 15, and he was working at Lacroix and Hammond with his brother Hector. And he would come here on his summer breaks from when he was out of school. He would come here from Mexico and spend the summer with his brother here, working as a dishwasher because he didn't know English. And then when he graduated high school, he came here indefinitely. And most immigrants, whenever they come here, they stay together, and because they're they know each other's language and culture, and it's just easier. And so that too goes with generally their profession. So whenever you come here, if your family is into roofing, well, then you're a roofer. If you come here and your family is into doing nails, then that's what you do. So when he came here, that's all he knew was the restaurant industry. So he worked himself up as he learned English. He would move to higher positions in the kitchen, and then eventually head cook. And then he eventually went to front of the house once he knew enough English. And so whenever we met, I was in college, and his brother used to own the La Coretta on Government. And so I worked there whenever I was in college, and that's how I met Ricardo. And fun fact is whenever I was working as a server and I was in college, I would say all the time, oh my gosh, whenever I graduate college, I'll never work in a restaurant again. So little did I know, God is like, joke's on you. So, that was Ricardo's dream, was to own his own restaurant. So after we got married, the location that we were in, it used to be a beignet place. And when they closed down, it was like we were looking, kind of looking for a location. And I'm from Central, so my mom told me, she's like, hey, there's that beignet place that closed down. And so we went and checked it out. And, it had a lot of features that a lot of shopping centers don't have when you're building out a restaurant. Like, it already had the hood, and it already had like a grease trap and things like that you need. And so, to get a plain commercial building and build it out for a restaurant is more expensive. And we were, 21 years old. So, 21, 22. So, we were trying to go the cheapest route as possible. So we're like, yes, we have to do it. We have to go. And I guess I felt like, I was from Central, and, I would garner enough support, that, even if it's just my family members go and eat there every day, like, we should build and make it for a little while, So that's how it happened. And then from there, that was in 2007. I remember Central had just become a city, and we had to ask for, in order to sell alcohol, you have to go in front of the board, and it was very new. So, Central as a city didn't know if, Baton Rouge was still handling that, or if Central was handling that. But I remember going before the board and, asking them to approve our liquor license and give us permission to sell, alcohol and things like that. And so it was fun. We were, like I said, we were very young, so we really didn't think about consequences or like what would happen. It wasn't even in our mind that we weren't going to be successful. It was just like, this is what we're going to do. And And so, and then that was 2007. And then in 2012, we opened our second location on Lee Drive. So that's that.
All right. So youthful optimism, just didn't think you could fail, huh?
No, it never even entered into my mind at all. My mom later confessed that she was stressed because actually whenever we opened the restaurant in Central, we were still petitioning for Ricardo's citizenship. And so the restaurant was totally and completely in my name. And we, you know, he of course hadn't established his credit yet. Although he had a visa and everything, a social security number, it was just, he couldn't, you know, he didn't have that credit established. And I don't even know why they gave me a loan because at the time I had just graduated college and I had a contract to teach at Denham Springs High. Like I, you know, had officially gotten the job, but we got our loan approved and I hadn't even started working yet. So I don't, this nice lady at Hancock Bank and in Zachary convinced, you know, somebody to give us money. I don't know why, but they did. So, and here we are. Mm-hmm.
All right, Sarah, you have the floor. I'd love to hear your story.
Well, I actually don't have a background in the restaurant industry at all, and neither does the co-owner, also my sister, Hope. Neither one of us had experience. This all spawned from, we would drop our kids off at school, and then after carpool, we would meet for coffee. And every time we would meet for coffee, we would have to leave Central. And she and I were pretty much homebodies. So we got tired of that. We're like, you know, Central needs something else, you know? And so I would say probably within like, it was one conversation that we were like, you know, Java Mama would do really well here. That whole concept, there's not a whole lot of places for like kids to go indoors and, you know, that caters to kids and moms. And I think by the end of that day, we had already entered into negotiations to open and license a Java Mama in Central. So, and what's really interesting is neither one of us was really drinking coffee until like 3 years ago. So it was very much like we built it for our own convenience. And the timing of it was not planned. Obviously, COVID kind of threw a wrench into everything. Everything shut down about a week or two before we were set to open. And so we very much had to pivot and reconfigure a few things. And thank goodness that we had a drive-through because that was able to sustain us through restaurant closures and everything. We were able to pay some bills that way. And since we've opened, the Central community, as we knew it would, has been so supportive and just wonderful. And we've been so thankful for the wonderful customer base that we have here.
Well, let me throw in a couple of comments from the streaming. First of all, I get a big vote for the shrimp tacos. Actually, that came from Gordy. Hey, my kids, a fan of, or Michelle actually, a fan of your cold pressed something. Pardon my ignorance, but what is cold pressed? Some kind of coffee?
Oh, like our cold brew?
Cold brew, that's what it is.
Yeah. So our cold brew, it's like a coffee concentrate, and we brew it like overnight. It sits in like for 12 hours just about, and it's just a little bit of a stronger coffee taste. And she's probably talking about our house cold brew, which is it's a creamy mixture, and you can add any kind of flavor that you like to it. But I think our absolute best cold coffee seller is the Not Your Mama's cold brew. So it's our house cold brew mixed with like some condensed milk. So it's got like that little bit of sweet, but it's very creamy, very good. And sorry, Gordy, it's not completely like healthy.
Okay.
So, one of the guys says that's like Navy coffee, is what he's saying. Apparently, that's Navy coffee or Exxon coffee. Got a couple votes for your flan and your guacamole. So they're in there for some of your stuff too. So on the live stream, if you weren't tuned in earlier, if you got a favorite dish at one of these two restaurants, cast your vote. If you've got an idea of a restaurant you'd like to see in Central that is not already in Central, a type of food, Throw that up on there too. Did have a good question. So for both of you, Perry Whitney asked, so what would you do different if you could in your startup? What if you had to do over again? What would you do differently? Maybe nothing.
I would not make the ceilings of our building so high, just to make it a little bit quieter inside. We have very high ceilings because we also have a 12-foot slide inside our dining area. So we had to add a few little extra sound cushions there, but I would definitely make the ceilings smaller.
Is there an age limit on that slide?
Well, I've been down the slide before, so I don't know that I could really say there's an age limit. But
So what would you do differently? Yours was a journey of faith, Jessica. So what would you do different, if anything?
I don't know that I would do anything different. I mean, we've made a lot of mistakes, but both of us come from backgrounds where our parents weren't entrepreneurs or didn't go to college, and so we just kind of had to learn on our own and just do it. And so I feel like if I would change anything, I would be missing some kind of lesson or something that was crucial. So I don't know that I would do anything different.
Hey, Dave, let me jump in. As Gene or John Wilson said, Caliente goes above and beyond what they cater. Highly recommend. And I will say, I'll never forget, it was somebody's birthday. And so, full disclosure, I'm a Tito's drinker. Tito's and water is very healthy drink. And Ricardo actually sent somebody across the street to, I guess, a grocery store to go get Tito's because he was out. I mean, that was unbelievable. And so he's been a dear friend. I wanted to ask you, Sarah. So tell me more about breakfast, lunch, what full menu. Tell me all about, is a novice coffee drinker. I drove by and it's coffee, and I know my wife again is a huge coffee drinker.
Yeah, we have your full range of espresso coffee drinks. We also have your basic just cup of Joe, full range of cold coffee drinks. So anything coffee-wise you want, we can make it. We have a whole breakfast menu. That's one of my favorite times is we have mini bennies, which is like our take on a traditional beignet, and that's a kid favorite. Waffles, scrambled eggs. You can do your classic American breakfast: eggs, bacon, toast, croissant, that kind of thing. And our best seller, and again, not completely healthy, but it's so good. It's like your classic Southern style buttery grits with a crawfish queso on top of it.
Wow.
Not only is it a bestseller, but it's one of our personal absolute favorites. You can't go wrong with it. So we're about to start selling our crawfish queso in bulk because we just bought another refrigerator to accommodate some of these new items that we want to sell in bulk. So, and then for lunch, we have like your full sandwiches, salads, Caesar salads. We've got a chicken pepper jack wrap that's a great seller. Salads, sandwiches, soups. We've got a great BLT that's one of my personal favorites. So yeah, it's a full range of all kind of stuff.
Did not know that. I'm glad. Tell me about when they have those events. Gosh, I forget the names. All the
Shop the Square.
Sunday, the different. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Shop the Square.
What kind of impact does that have on your place? I mean,
gosh, it's such, as an owner, it's great anytime you get to go out and meet more people and introduce them to what you're doing, and to have them, I kind of see like they're on our home base, they're right in our front yard. And so for the last Shop the Square, I was out there with a serving tray and walking around and like getting samples to everyone and just letting people know that we're there, that we're open, and just giving them a small taste of what we offer. And it's always great I love having those events because you can always count on people that have never been to Java Mama coming in and just being like, wow, this is awesome. You're not just for kids, or you're not just a coffee shop kind of thing. So it's always great to have those kinds of events in Central Square.
Well, we got a shout out from Deb Kuhns. Hi, Jessica Jones Barraza. And also Blake Sagan says your shrimp taco salad is stellar. So
Thank you. And hey, Aunt Debbie.
Oh, that's your aunt. Okay.
Well, she's actually my cousin, but
Generation.
But yeah.
So you kind of jumped on my next question, Sarah, but so we'll throw it to Jessica. Tell us about your specialties. Tell us about, I know that several years back, we got invited over to, Ricardo asked us to come over and taste a new menu. It had a po' boy in it and a few other things. Y'all doing new things all the time, or you're pretty steady? You got some new things coming?
Yeah, we try to change up the menu every so often because we do have a lot of regulars. We want to keep, people are like a creature of habit and they like their things that they like, but we also want to switch it up to make sure that, people don't get bored with the same thing. So we tried to come out with new menus, probably like 2 to 3 times a year. We tried to, we have a few items that are really authentic, but then we also try to be creative, so like currently on the menu, we have the brisket mac and cheese tacos, which of course is not an authentic item, but I personally love our brisket. I think it's delicious. And then so our mac and cheese is made with our queso. So if you like the queso, and then it has the French's onions on top with barbecue sauce and ranch, and it's like it's delicious. At our other location in Lee Drive, the college kids have taken it to a new level, and now they ordered the brisket mac and cheese tacos, but as a quesadilla. And so and I asked Ricardo, I was like, does anybody do that in Central? And he's like, no. So maybe y'all ask him to make y'all some brisket mac and cheese quesadillas instead of tacos. That's like some of the new items. We have Asian tacos, which has like a yum yum sauce and a mango slaw. And, we tried to switch it up and come up with new things and invent a lot of things, like the po' boy was actually Ricardo's idea because, it's like the fajita, and then we're in Louisiana where we have, po' boys. So try to create things that are comfort food, but in, keeping with, Mexican type dish. And let's see what else we had recently come out with. I know that before COVID, Ricardo was doing the brunch buffet. And I think he is about to start, like at Lee Drive, we're already doing brunch again. And but we're not doing it as a buffet just yet. We're waiting until COVID blows more over. So, but he should be adding the brunch items back to his menu as well. And we tried to keep it fresh but still keep the traditional items and remember our loyal customers like Gordy who like their favorites, and make sure we still make those for them.
Well, we got to vote for your crawfish bread, and Councilmember Evans says something about your top shelf margaritas. He sits next to me at council, so make sure he doesn't get any until after tomorrow night's council meeting, please.
Okay. I can't make any
I
promises.
vote for no margaritas on city council nights. The last ones.
There you go. So you mentioned Ricardo at his place and you at your place. What do you mean by that?
So Ricardo manages the central location, and I manage the Lee Drive location. So it's funny. People laugh at us because we say that's his restaurant and that's my restaurant. But I don't know why it worked out that way. That's just how it did. And if I go into Central, I promise, like the employees, I'll tell y'all a story. So my mom, she would, we have 3 daughters, and she would bring our daughters to visit Ricardo at work. And for a summer, my manager, her name is Maddie Gagno, and she's great. And she started out working in Central, so a lot of Central people know her. She went back to Central and managed there for a summer. So one day I walked in there, and I walked all the way back into the kitchen, and the dishwasher was like, "Who's that lady who just walked into the kitchen?" And she was like, "That's Jessica. That's Ricardo's wife." And he said, "Oh, I thought that old lady that always has his kids was his wife," referring to my mom.
Nice.
It was so funny. I like still laugh at that every time. But they don't know me. And then when he comes to Lee Drive, my employees, they know him, but they don't feel comfortable. They don't know him. So that's just how it worked out. We kind of tried the new things first at Lee Drive, and we have a very different clientele. In Central, it's more family oriented, and at Lee Drive, it's predominantly college students. So we'll try it on them and then see how it goes. But it's really funny how things, the different customers like the different things. Like the brisket mac and cheese is not as big of a hit in Central as it is in Lee Drive. And just the differences between the two restaurants is always interesting.
Well, how about once a week you bring us all the good stuff happening at Lee Drive and educate us country folk in Central, and bring us some of your menu.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, so Sarah, I got to ask you, because my mom lives in South Baton Rouge, and I'm looking at moving her up here to Central. And I did not realize the construction behind your place, and it is blown up. How much regular business are you getting, foot traffic and people like that from not only all those condos, apartments, all that's starting to fill out?
Yeah, we there's a bunch of people that live in that newer development that's still up and coming. If you actually ride back there into the parking lot for the owners, it is full of people. So. Yes. We're like kind of nestled, for those of you who don't know, in the Central Square development. So we're like the third building pretty much by the roundabout. And behind us is a ton of residential. So we get a lot of people riding their bikes, and a lot of them I know personally, but a lot of people riding their bikes. We get regulars that we see their daily routines, walking their dogs and stuff. And we've come to know them. Hey, Kristen.
Hi, Sarah.
Kristen Perrin joining us after taking her coach / motherly duties, and good to have you with us.
Yes. Hey, Jessica.
Hey, Kristen.
So let's throw out this one comment. Perry Whitney's looking for a deep fried po' boy. Let's don't even go there, okay? But he said hold the margarita. So tell me, now, did I mention I have a new grandson? He's 9 months old. You want to see pictures? No, I guess not. I guess not. Sarah, tell me when I can finally bring him out to play, when he gets a little more well behaved and walking, getting around a little better. What can he do at your restaurant?
Okay, so we like to cater to mamas, and in doing that, we like to cater to the kiddos too. So the great thing about it is, you come and get the grandparents too.
Thank you.
My parents, who are also grandparents, they're in there all the time. So we have a Bible study group that comes in, and a Pokino group that comes in. So you'll be right at home. But yeah, so we have this whole little section, and it's this play area that Hope and I have created. And it's kid approved because our children had full run of the place while we were closed during COVID. So, like I said, a giant 12-foot slide. But for the smaller ones, like your new grandbaby, we have a separate little area where you can still be a part of, other play with. You can still see your older children, but there's a whole smaller little area that we created for the little bitties. So there's smaller things there, some little soft play items there that, whenever your grandbaby is a little bit more mobile, you can climb on and all this kind of stuff. And, I'm a former first grade teacher. So a lot of these things that we incorporated to our play area are like a lot of sensory activities and things like that. We really had that in the back of our minds to create this whole little space that kind of feels like home, but it's also really engaging for kids too.
Sarah,
So-
what's the ages that are allowed to play in the play area?
Well, if you want to play, you come on and play.
Okay.
What we've noticed is that kids usually around under age 8 and under are really into the play area. And then we always have older siblings. So we have things like, books and little games for them out in the dining area. So they're not quite bored while, younger brother or sister are playing. So try to have a little something for everybody.
Growing up, taking my kids to the McDonald's play yard and not even liking McDonald's food, just wanting 30 minutes where they could go play somewhere. I can't imagine with great food, that'd be even better.
Yeah.
So
And
I'm
coffee.
checking. So Sarah, I'm sitting there checking out your Facebook page. Well done.
Thank you.
And I'm a New Orleans boy, and there was Gambino's King Cake in Central, and I did not know it.
Yes.
So I'm having regrets right now.
We probably didn't make any money on the king cakes because I ate most of them.
Did you?
Between me and Hope, we took care of the king cakes. So if we were ever out of stock, I apologize. That was my fault.
From a small business standpoint, your Facebook page is excellent. Tell me about who does your graphics, and it's really polished.
That would be me and my sister Hope. we just we have other businesses aside from Java Mama, and Hope's background is art. She has an art degree from LSU. So,
Right.
And a lot of it's like a digital design. So anytime that we need like something aesthetically pleasing, she's like my go-to girl. So she can whip that out in like no time. But yeah, I have a hobby of iPhone photography. So like a lot of the food photography, we do all of that ourselves. So do as much as we can.
Well done. All right, I'll be quiet. Kristen, you have the floor. All Kristen.
Well, what are we talking about? Just everything
about
about
food.
Java Mama. Well, I love Java Mama's coffee, and I'm addicted to the raspberry tea.
Thanks.
I think it's called, what is it? Something Rouge.
Rouge tea, yeah.
Yeah, the Rouge. I like it a lot.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So one of the
It's
questions,
really cute. They did a really good job with just the whole styling of it, and it's really quaint. I can go in there and do my Bible studies sometimes. I've gotten really good at tuning children out. As a cheer coach, you have to get good at tuning children out.
Yeah.
So I can go in there and I don't even hear the kids. I'm just like doing in my zone.
Yeah, we do have a private separate room for anybody who wants to do like a Bible study or meeting or anything like that. We can totally separate you. We also have a courtyard too that we love, and now that the weather's nicer, we can
Yes, it's
hang
nice.
out there too. So
Jessica, that's one thing I've noticed about Caliente. The separate room has to be gold for both of y'all. There are some catering places, and probably I know Kristen would. I'm not familiar with all of them up here, but I can tell you Caliente. I mean, you need to be 6 months out to get that room reserved. You got going on. You've got meetings. It's a big.
Yes. Yeah. We were very lucky whenever we were able to add on the second room, the addition that happened like, let's see, maybe 2009 or 2010, when I think it was Curves was in there. And so we were able to expand it and add on. And it's been really nice to have that extra room. And sometimes we can even block off. We have someone in the party room, and then Ricardo will put up like dividers and curtains and make the other side also private for people as well.
well, I would say that Caliente's got a leg up on you, so maybe footsteps you can follow in, Sarah. But I have rarely seen any business in Central do as much for the community as Caliente does. Every single time there's a charitable event, go to football games, the press box food, you name it, you guys are in. That's just impressed me.
Yeah, Ricardo is very good about, trying to give back to the community and supporting the community the way that they've supported us. And, I think we're at the point too now that it's even more special because, most restaurants, have a history of not lasting as long as we have there. And so we feel very blessed and very fortunate, and so we're happy to be able to give back to the community that has supported us.
Hosting the art league nights, the art nights, and I think last year's football playoff game, we y'all came out and fed the tailgate group.
Mm-hmm. And I'd like to add that anytime I ever contact Ricardo for gift cards for like senior night for a volleyball game or senior night for cheer or softball or anything, he's always gives over and above. Like I'll be like, just give me like $5-10 gift cards, and I show up and I've got like 5 $40 gift cards, and I'm like, you're crazy. And he's like, no, they deserve it. You know, I want to do whatever I can to support. He always steps up to the plate. He will actually be catering for us for the Central Athletic Foundation's membership launch party next Friday night. So I'm gonna put that little plug in. We are having a membership launch party next Friday night. It's $25 a ticket. We have the Last Call band will be there, as well as a DJ, Caliente catering, and a photo booth, and all kind of fun stuff going on at CCA Gym next Friday night.
We're going to run through everything going on up in the next couple of weeks in Central shortly, but let me give each of you ladies one last crack at this. Tell us anything we haven't asked you want to talk about, maybe upcoming plans, anything you'd like to share.
We have a whole summer series of events coming out. We're going to have a kids night with Twinkle the Clown. She's doing balloon animals and face painting, and we have the East Baton Rouge Library Bookmobile coming out. The Zoomobile is coming. So we're really gearing up for the summer for all of our kiddos that are going to be out of school. So follow us on Facebook and Instagram so you can keep up with when those events are.
So your website and your Facebook, Instagram, you want to give those addresses?
Facebook is Java Mama Central Square. I believe Instagram is the same thing. Our website is javamamacs.com. And of course, you can always stop in the shop too.
And some shameless plugs for Caliente?
So actually, like, Ricardo couldn't make this meeting because he's currently driving home from Dallas with the food truck that we just bought. So we have an official food truck, which I'm like over the moon about. Goodness. I've been begging Ricardo for a food truck for way too long, way too long. You know, most wives ask for like, you know, a fancy car. All I'm over here is asking for a food truck, and I finally got it. So I'm very excited. He's, you know, driving back with it now. So we're working on the design to get it wrapped. And so we'll be putting out like a June calendar soon. And so, yeah.
So most women get a fancy car. This is like a really expensive vehicle. Isn't that the same thing? That's like a fancy car.
This is one that pays for itself. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So any chance you'll be at the food truck roundup on the 22nd, or is that just too early?
Is of May?
Yeah.
Probably not, but maybe. I mean, we already have contacted the wrap company that's going to be putting the design on it. And I mean, they have about like a week and a half turnaround. So, you know, depending on what kind of approvals we can get with the health department and, you know, that whole process, see how long it takes. It's a possibility. I mean, nothing's impossible. So.
Well, thank you both for being here. You're welcome to hang out as we're going to talk about some of the things going on in Central over the next few weeks, but you're welcome to hang out with us if you'd like. Thought we'd turn it over to Kristen, our latecomer tonight. You're going to make up some airtime here. Tell us about Shop the Square and the food trucks. That's a chamber event, correct?
Right. That's
and
a chamber
she's a
event.
chamber board member.
That will be May 22nd. We're going to start at 4:00. We will be behind Java Mama in Central Square. We have, it will be a food truck roundup and a Shop the Square event this time because we have a good number of food trucks. I think the last time I asked, we had 12. So that's pretty good. And we've got a lot of vendors that'll be out again to sell their things or to promote their businesses. We also will have games set up for the kids this time. So I'm also on the board with Gordy for Central Athletic Foundation, we're going to have some lawn games out there as well, like the Giant Connect 4 game and ladder ball and some fun stuff like that. We'll also have that out at the tailgate event this Thursday as well from 4 to 6 before the spring game. We'll have them there too. But yes, the May 22nd event is going to be a lot of fun. We will also have live music. The Honky Tonk Playboys will be there that night. So they'll start playing, I believe, around 7. And they'll be like under the pavilion, and then the grassy area around the pavilion will be available for the families to come set up, like bring picnic blankets and, you know, some snacks, ice chests, whatever, hang out right there. Bring your camp chairs if you want to bring those, and watch the Honky Tonk Playboys, listen, dance, play some games with the kids, shop. Go eat at the food trucks. It'll be a lot of fun, and it's a later in the evening. Like I said, it starts at 4, so that'll be nice because it won't be as hot, and it'll be a good night for the family. So hopefully we'll get a lot of people to show up that night and come have some fun out in the Central Square.
So lawn darts? I grew up on those. No lawn darts, huh?
I actually am looking for a lawn dart set.
No.
But it's the rubber. It's the rubber.
No. Rubber ones, Dave. God, Dave.
Yeah.
My parents gave us steel spikes and said, "Go play."
Not the dangerous ones.
Not the ones, Dave. We're showing our age here, Dave. Those were the ones.
I don't know.
Silver tips, right? Had like a waiver on the back then. You didn't have to worry about all that.
That's right.
Something happened.
So, Gordon, you're in a position to kind of clue us in on the spring game with the tailgate event for CAF?
Yeah, well, Chris has got more, more details than certainly I do. But Thursday night at Wildcat Stadium is the conclusion of spring football. Unfortunately, I think the team was supposed to play Dutchtown, but Dutchtown got a week late start. I believe they had some, I'm assuming some quarantine issues, so that it's not going to play. It'll be an inter squad scrimmage, but more than anything, a couple of years back. Ashley and some other folks. Let me go back. I heard 10 years worth of all these stories from my mother-in-law and father-in-law about the Central backers. Russell Starnes and Jay Payne and all these families that were involved in supporting the school and the school athletics. And I think anytime you go around the state, the country for that matter, you always have great support for the coaches and those student athletes, the hours that they put in. And so we thought it was kind of very important to strike that back up. And we're trying to make progress with that with Central Athletic Foundation. So we have 2 events. Thursday's the spring game. And then next Friday is the membership party over at Kristen's place. So you can do the details, Kristen, on Thursday.
So Thursday we have a DJ. He'll be out there from 4 to 6. We have 2 food trucks coming Thursday. It's Prime Time Seafood and Queen Eats Barbecue. And we also have some games for the kids, just a tailgate event. Just come on out, hang out, talk to your friends. We just are really going to be out there to support our athletes. Our football team will, obviously be out there, as well as our cheerleaders will be out there. We did just have cheer tryouts last Thursday. We will have a squad of 34 girls this year, which is awesome. They'll all be out there this Thursday. It'll be their first time as a new team, coming out and basically supporting their guys, the football team. So we're really excited. It's a good way to kick off a new year. We really pumped up about the new football season and all the new changes that are happening at Central with all the athletic programs. And this will be just a way to kind of bring the community out and have some fun things for the family and that'll be at the Central Football Stadium. We will be behind the stadium with, the DJ for the music, food trucks, fun games for the kids and all that. And it'll be from 4 to 6 on Thursday. And then again, I'll shamelessly plug our launch party again. Our membership launch party will be next Friday night at our gym, CCA, the old Starkey gym. And it'll start at 7. And we will have Last Call, which is the Trey Gallman is the lead singer of that band. So really, they do an awesome job. They're a lot of fun, do a lot of good country music, old classics, some new stuff too. They're fun. We will have a DJ there as well for, whenever the band needs to break and we need to dance. So we'll have the DJ there, and then Caliente will be there catering, and We're going to have a photo booth, and we'll have like all of our apparel that we're going to be selling through the Central Athletic Foundation to support the athletics in our area. And we'll have those apparel items set up so that everybody can kind of see them, and we'll have some information about what Central Athletic Foundation is and what we do and why it's to a really good thing to join, and how it benefits the athletics in our community.
Well, we have Perry Whitney volunteering communications equipment for any of these events. If you need five or six radios, if you don't know Perry, get in touch with me and I'll put you guys together.
Okay, great.
We have the City of Central's Memorial Day service coming up. It'll be at Comite Baptist Church on Grimmel Springs Road, Thursday, May the 27th at 6:30. Keynote speakers Karen Vaughn, the mother of fallen U.S. Navy SEAL Aaron Vaughn, author of a book called World Changers. So these Memorial and Labor Day services, and Veterans Day services rather, have always been very meaningful. Try to make a point to come out for that. Also on tap, we look. Can someone speak to them at CP and CHS? Maybe Gordy, since you brought these to my attention early on. Both had good runs in the playoffs. You want to speak to that, maybe?
Wait, one more time now?
Central High and Central Private's playoff runs.
Yeah, wow. Both teams, I think, made to the state quarterfinals. Central lost in the Central High School, had to play at Sam Houston, and they lost in the 2 out of 3 series. They won the first game and lost 2, and then Central Private went up and played at Calvary Baptist, a real good school up in Shreveport, and they lost 2 games. But baseball's always been great out here. Great coaching out there. Coach Leo does a fantastic job. Dennis Lorio's the AD over at Central Private. They've got so many good things going on over there. So no surprise that Central played. Both schools had deep runs into the playoffs.
Sweet. And I got to tell you, for the first time ever, I went to the Grimmel Springs Youth Riders Pro Rodeo this past weekend.
Oh,
that is amazing.
how was it?
Well, except for the 25-minute walk in, because I had to park over at Magnolia Methodist Church.
Yeah.
They're running shuttles, but I made it watched the shuttle loading, and I got there about the time the shuttle got there. So it's a hefty walk in, but the place was absolutely packed, and it's some really good rodeo guys and ladies. I mean, it's the full gamut of calf roping and bronco busting and all kinds of stuff. Some of the youth events too. And Grimmel Springs Youth Riders do a coordinated rides that are timed and synchronized, and probably more than that. I heard a lot of comments as they were talking about how meaningful that group has been to young people in Central, and it's been it's a camaraderie and a character building community.
Yeah.
And as I was walking out, one of our older volunteer police department members explained that he was a youth rider in 1958. We got to talking about it. He was out there working the event, so I appreciate all the CPD help out there and making me park 20 minutes away from the event.
Yeah, I heard it was like crazy packed both nights, which was awesome.
I drove by. I couldn't believe
the people.
I still look. I've lived out here 10 years. I still don't know where that place is
because it's back there. It's far back there.
You know. Then again, I don't know. First 8 years I got north of Hooper, and so I'm still learning the area a little bit. But I was blown away coming from, I guess, Magnolia Beach Road, towards live over where the Comey Hills. I was blown away the amount of traffic and just you had to walk a good 30 minutes just to get wherever that is.
It's a small facility. It's gorgeous up in there. That's a bunch of live oak trees, and it's Shady Park is what it's called. Nicknamed Shady Park. It's actually technically Grimmel Springs Park, but the rodeo arena is pretty impressive. Some big grandstands and got all the chutes and all the all the bleachers. It's a really and a concession facility. It's a really nice place, but we certainly have outgrown it. I heard the number 1,500 people per night. I don't know. I haven't vetted that number, but it was a bunch of people. But and extremely well done. Extremely well done.
Well, that's why I enjoy taking time being a part of this just to learn about it. Because see, I didn't know Sarah had all that. I mean, so. You open at 8 o'clock, the dining room, so 6 to 8 drive-through, is that right?
Yeah, drive-through opens at 6 a.m.
Okay, I can do drive-through. We'll do drive-through.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
So we're trying to line up a show for next week about youth summer camps, all the athletic and tumbling and cheer. And so if anybody knows anybody in the cheer business who wants to promote their stuff or
I know
athletics,
someone.
yeah, I've got some tennis and some football information. So
Okay.
Kristen, send me what you got. We're going to put some things in the paper about that and try to line up a couple of people to come and talk about their summer camp programs next week. And we'll try to cover as many as we can get information on, but that'll be our effort for next week.
Yeah, let's put out invite. Anybody that has any information, please help us out with that. And Kristen, I think they'll do a wonderful job with cheer, finish second in the country. And as a parent of 3, the last thing in the world I want, my kids on the iPad are watching YouTube videos all day long. And
Right.
we actually Central hosted state lacrosse, which is an up and coming sport, Friday and Saturday, which was really cool out there. But they had a kids camp, and there was about 40 kids that went out there and learned to play lacrosse. And I will tell you, there are good scholarships, and just first of all, it's an activity, but lacrosse is a growing sport, and there's wonderful opportunities to further your education in that. And just one example, I think, of getting the word out of what's going on in this community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do summer camps every year, so I'll talk about that. But also, the cheerleaders were acknowledged at the lacrosse championship on Friday, so that was nice. We got acknowledged for getting second place in the nation, and they got to do their pretty little wave in front of the crowd. So, and I'm sure they'll talk about it again this Thursday at the spring game. So that's exciting. But yeah. There is a lot of camps that go on in Central, lots and lots of different options for everybody. So that's definitely a good thing to talk about.
Well, if you want to plug your camp, Dave at centralspeaks.com. We're doing a little listing of camps in this week's paper. Got to have information by the end of tomorrow, so send me what you got. Sarah, thanks for being with us.
Yes,
Thank you so much for having me. This was fun.
I'm sorry I was so late.
You got to be a mom and a coach first.
I do. Sorry.
I've always said we'll go no more than an hour, but we'll stop talking when we're out of things to talk about. Anybody got anything else you want to throw out there?
No. Stop Java Mama.
Come get some coffee.
Get some coffee and some chicken salad croissants and turkey wraps and all the yummy food
Sarah, you kind of bring my grandson. Did I mention I have a new grandson?
You did. I'm so excited for you. You need to bring him, even though he can't walk yet. Still bring him.
All right. I'll bring pictures.
Yeah, there you go.
Gordy, Kristen, thanks for being with us too. And I guess we'll sign off and see you all again next Monday night, 8 o'clock.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.